Before we begin our meeting this evening, I have a little, opener that it has been a very sad week in the city of Corner Brook. We lost one of our employees, the manager of the Civic Center, Willie Smith. And to bring a tribute to Willie, I'm going to call on the city manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On behalf of the city of Corner Brook and Willie's colleagues, I would like to express my deepest sympathies to the family and friends of Willie Smith. Willie's connection to our community and the Civic Center spanned decades. Even before the city began operating the facility, Willie was instrumental as its manager, overseeing countless sporting events, major conferences, memorable concerts, and much, much more. He took immense personal pride in the Civic Center. For him, it was not only a facility, but a vibrant, essential hub of activity for Corner Brook. His history with the facility goes back as far as his enthusiastic role as Toe Tweet, the mascot for the 1999 Canada Winter Games. He could take you on a tour of this facility, and it would be for hours. I personally witnessed this. But it was filled with personal memories tied to each and every nook and cranny of the building. Willie was more than just a manager. He was a remarkable community builder. We will profoundly miss his infectious positivity, his wonderful sense of humor, his extremely complicated spreadsheets, and his unique management style that consistently made working in our recreation department a genuine pleasure. His legacy of dedication and community spirit will endure at the Civic Center for years to come.
Thank you, City Manager. Now we'll have a minute's silence for Willie Smith. Thank you all very much. I'll call the meeting to order. Welcome to everybody that's here and everybody who's watching us on cable, and to our guests in the gallery. Welcome to you very much. Okay, land acknowledgement. Councillor Luther.
Madam Mayor, we respectfully acknowledge the city of Corner Brook as the ancestral homeland of different populations of Indigenous people. We also acknowledge with respect the rich histories and cultures of the Biapik, Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving right along, we're going to do the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Okay, seconder?
I'll second.
Councillor Keeping, or Deputy Mayor Keeping, your first mistake. Okay, all in favor? Contraminded? Okay. Agenda has been adopted. The approval of the minutes from the regular meeting on October 6, 2025. Approval of the minutes.
So moved.
So moved. Councillor Wheeler and Councillor Pritchard. Thank you very much. We're going to move on now to the ratification of decisions. Councillor Pritchard, you're on.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In accordance with Section 41(3) of the City of Corner Brook Act, where a decision is made by the councillors at a privileged meeting, the decision, in order to be valid, shall be ratified at a public meeting of the council. The following minutes are being brought forward for ratification. Be it resolved to ratify CC 25014, approval of agenda. Agenda was approved as circulated. I so move.
Seconder, Councillor Luther. All in favor? Aye. So moved. Okay.
Be it resolved to ratify CC 2516, tax sales auction. It was approved for staff to submit bids on properties at the 2025 tax sale auction in accordance with Section 162 of the City of Corner Brook Act for properties outlined as attached. I so move.
Seconder? Councillor Dean? All in favor? Councillor Monick? So approved.
Be it resolved to ratify CC 25017, approval of agenda. Agenda was approved as circulated. I so move.
Seconder on that one. Councillor Kennedy? All in favor?
I should indicate we moved on to the October 20th meeting. The first two were for our September 22nd meeting.
Thank you.
We're good for that one?
Yep.
Okay. Be it resolved to ratify CC 25019, confirmation of order 2025-04. It was approved to confirm the stop work order 2025-04 in accordance with Section 1094 of the Urban, Rural, and Planning Act. I so move.
Seconder?
I'll second.
Councillor Creepy? All in favor? Motion carried.
Be it resolved to ratify CC 25020, discretionary use 2 of Westview Avenue. Approve the application to operate a home-based business office from the dwelling located at 2 Westview Avenue in accordance with Regulations 11, discretionary powers of authority. I so move.
Second.
Seconder Councillor Dean? All in favor? Motion carried.
Be it resolved to ratify CC 25021, discretionary use of 57 Windsor Street. Approve the application to operate a home-based business from the dwelling located at 57 Windsor Street in accordance with Regulation 11, discretionary powers of authority. I so move.
Councillor Kennedy? All in favor? Motion carried.
We'll move on to our council and committee meeting of November 3rd, 2025. Be it resolved to ratify CC 25024, QP 768 agreement. Approve the ratification of the labor agreement with the Canadian Union of Public Employees for the period ending December 31st, 2028. I so move.
Seconder on that one. Councillor Luther? All in favor? Motion carried. Very much.
Be it resolved to ratify CC 25025, non-union staff wages. Approve the annual wage increases for non-union employees for 2025 to 2028. I so move.
Seconder Councillor Wheeler? All in favor? Motion carried.
And I believe this is our final one, Madam Mayor. Be it resolved to ratify CC 25028, the Corner Brook Royals contract. Approve the agreement between the Corner Brook Royals Hockey Club, Inc. and the City of Corner Brook for the 2025-2026 hockey season. I so move.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor? All in favor? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Councillor Pritchard? Okay. And we move on now to, anybody got any business arising from the minutes that we just looked at previous? No business? Okay, so we'll move right along. And I'm going to do our proclamations. Okay, I had the privilege of signing a lot of proclamations for the month of October and part into November. So the City of Corner Brook would like to recognize the following proclamations and events in the City of Corner Brook. October was declared Foster Family Month to recognize the important role of foster families in child protection system within our province. October was declared Disability Employment Awareness Month to recognize and celebrate the many and varied contributions of workers with disabilities, also known as DEEM, also recognizes the leadership of inclusive employers and promotes employment inclusion. October 1st to 7th was declared National Breastfeeding Week. Breastfeeding has an impact on life health, and exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months and continued breastfeeding for 2 years and beyond, ensuring the mother and child receive maximum health benefits. October the 10th was declared National Dental Care Day. An initiative promotes dignity, healthy equity, and community compassion through accessible oral health care. October the 23rd was declared Pura Syndrome Awareness Day. Pura syndrome is a rare genetic disorder caused by pathogenic variants from the Pura gene, leading to neurodevelopmental delays, intellectual disability, and various other challenges for affected individuals and their families. October the 19th to 25th was declared Small Business Week. Small business represents a tradition of hard-working, dedicated individuals striving to provide for their families, create job opportunities for their neighbors, and make invaluable contributions to their community. And we move on then to November. November the 1st, declared Remembrance Period. It's a time for each of us to reflect and recall to mind the sacrifices made by our veterans and ensure the peace we now enjoy. And a lot of us attended, I think most of us attended the Remembrance Day ceremony. Probably one of the biggest crowds we ever had. It was certainly well attended, and the weather was beautiful. November the 20th, and that's coming up, is Transgender Day of Remembrance. Transgender Day of Remembrance helps bring the public awareness to transphobic hate crimes and honors the memory of those hurt and killed by acts of transphobic violence each year. Thank you very much. And I was proud to be joined by a lot of council for a lot of those proclamations. Okay, so moving right along. Okay, tenders. Oh, I missed one. Committee appointments for 2025-2026 councillor keeping. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In accordance with Section 42 of the City of Corner Brook Act, Corner Brook has authority to appoint standing or special committees that it considers desirable to serve an advisory or consultative role to council. These committees make recommendations to council. However, they do not have decision-making authority. Membership on council committees is reviewed annually, and all appointments require council approval. There will be a committee of the whole meeting scheduled once a month, and for the purpose of maintaining the proficiency of these meetings, items are to be brought forward by councillors who will be designated leads on individual topics. The council leads will be required to meet with the mayor, city manager, and the appropriate director to determine which items should be brought forward on a monthly basis. Be it resolved, pursuant to the power vested in its accordance with Section 42 of the City of Corner Brook Act, to approve the appointments for the 2025-2026 committee as presented. Councillor Dean, Protective Services; Councillor Kennedy, Development and Planning; Councillor Pritchard, Capital Works, Engineering and Community Services; Councillor Wheeler, Operational Services; Councillor Luther, Finance Administration; and Deputy Mayor Keeping, Recreation and Tourism. Advisory committees: Deputy Mayor and Councillor Dean, Accessibility and Inclusive Community; Councillors Kennedy and Pritchard, Youth; Councillors Luther and Wheeler, Community Partners. And outside appointments: Councillors Dean and Kennedy for Worcester Regional Waste Management; Mayor Chason, Corner Brook Port Corporation; and Councillor Wheeler, the Deer Lake Airport Authority. Thank you.
Thank you all. Busy schedules. Okay. Oh, you moved it, Councillor Deputy?
I so moved. Sorry.
Okay, we need a seconder. Okay, all in favor? Contraminded? Motion carries. Now you're in it for life. Not getting out now. Okay, we got some tenders coming up. 5.1, extension for phosphates and corrosion control, 2024 to 2024. Must be another number on that. Councillor Wheeler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Shannon Chemical Corporation was requested to provide a quotation for an extension to the phosphates for corrosion control contract 2024-24 for a one-year period ending November 30th, 2026. Shannon Chemical have provided a quotation in the amount of $9.236 per kilogram, US dollars, a 0.506 per kilogram US dollars increase from the 2024 contract. Quantity of material to be ordered on an as-needed basis. Be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council approve the quotation for the phosphates for corrosion control 2024-24 extension for 1 year to November 30th, 2026 to Shannon Chemical Corporation. Be it resolved, I so move.
Seconder on that one.
Second.
Deputy Mayor, questions, comments? Yes, Councillor Luther, you're on.
Yeah, I was just wondering what that's used for.
Through you, Madam Mayor. So that is corrosion control. So essentially it's an additive to reduce the corrosion in our distribution network. Yeah, yeah, correct.
Councillor Wheeler?
Madam Mayor, I understand from the attachments to this, some of the reasoning behind the increases and what they have listed, increases in energy costs such as natural gas and electricity, rising raw material prices and reduced availability for high quality raw materials, higher supply chain expenses in new operating environment, and high inflation on labor, insurance, maintenance, repairs, and other operational expenses. I guess just a question would be, is this, within what we would expect with inflation, with the rising cost of inflation? Does this seem in keeping with that?
Director Hunt?
Through you, Madam Mayor. So essentially, short answer is yes. This amount of quantity we need right now, we have enough stockpiled to probably last us for the next year. So this is getting us through in case of an emergency, but the plan next year would be to go through a full tender and review all suppliers. But it's just a stopgap to get us through in case we do need something for the next 12 months.
One last question, one last comment, sorry, Madam Mayor. I did have the opportunity to visit the depot last week and the water treatment plant. And I know I spoke with some of the staff up there, and this particular chemical and what we're doing here to reduce corrosion in the pipes, my understanding it's been quite successful for us and has helped us drastically. So I do think it is something worthwhile that we need to continue. Very unfortunate that the cost of all of these items continues to go up, as does everything else around us these days.
Thank you, Councillor Wheeler. In the beginning, we had a lot of leaks when we turned on our water. Is this the one that stops the leaks in the pipes? It is.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair. Yeah, it would help. Yeah.
Okay, so it is definitely necessary because it saves a lot of leaks and saves our water. Yeah. Councillor Pritchard.
Just related follow-up, I guess, to Councillor Wheeler's question. I noticed, Madam Mayor, this is a Pennsylvania company, I believe, so they're out of the States. Looking at the, I guess, the tariff situation, I'm just wondering, have tariffs played a role with this increase in price, and whether or not there are Canadian alternatives that we could be looking at as well?
Director O'Brien?
Yeah, through you, Madam Mayor. So currently, no, the tariffs haven't affected it. However, that is part of our strategy now to review other opportunities. It's a little bit of the shipping and all that becomes complicated with the two prices of a delivered price versus the pickup price in the U.S. But again, the 12 months now gives us time to prepare. We don't foresee needing much, if any, quantity to get us through to next 2026. So this is just a stopgap in case of an emergency, but we are preparing alternatives and looking into a Canadian-based supplier.
Thanks.
Yeah, we will look elsewhere during our year. Okay, thank you. Director, any more questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? Contrary-minded? Motion carried. Capital purchase of truck scale system. Councillor Luther.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. With background information, our Public Works Division utilizes salt and sand for winter ice control operations. Currently, staff do not have equipment to weigh all quantities that leave the yard. A scale system would enable accurate measurement and documentation of salt and sand usage in real time. This documentation will enable the analysis of salt and sand usage for the winter ice control program to identify and implement operational efficiencies and improve the inventory management. Staff have requested quotes for the supply and installation of scale equipment. Of the 3 quotes requested, only 1 was received. High Tech Scales Limited was the only quote submission, valued at $44,950 plus HST for the supply, delivery, installation, and certification of a scale system at the Public Works salt shed. It is resolved that Council approve the reallocation of unused 2025 core COR budget to facilitate the purchase of the quoted scale system from High Tech Scales for the purchase price of $44,950 plus HST. I so move.
Seconder. Councillor Wheeler. Discussion? Councillor Wheeler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's funny that this comes up this evening. Also, while I was at the depot last week, we were talking about certain things, and one of the things that came up is the fact that we haven't been able to accurately measure how much salt we are actually using. So it's been pretty much an average truckload up to now. And of course that varies significantly depending on who loads a truck, how much goes in, how much gets wasted on the side. So I think the value, even though this seems quite expensive, I think the value of being able to really accurately measure how much salt we are going through and using certainly is worthwhile and needed.
Thank you. Councillor Luther?
Yeah, I was just wondering, does this have anything to do with the balancing between the salt and sand used, like based on temperature or the ice conditions?
Commissioner O'Brien?
Through you, Madam Mayor. So partially, the big thing here would be exactly like Councillor Wheeler alluded to, is understanding the weights leaving the yard. So the opportunity now is to be able to weigh when salt is loaded and the sand is loaded, to understand the mix of both. So there is a benefit of like you're alluding to, but the big thing here is understanding usage in that realm.
Thank you. Councillor Dean?
Madam Mayor, just a question. Is it unusual to have only 1 quote submitted when 3 are requested?
Through you, Madam Mayor. So in this situation, this is a used scale, so it creates a big opportunity here. So again, when the supplier approached us per Procurement Act, we had to request 3 other quotes. No other individuals that we reached out to had the used scales, but the financial incentive of something like this is huge. A new set of scales, you're probably somewhere in the $150,000 range, so there's a huge benefit here. But yes, that's why there was only 1 quote.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, Councillor.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, with the operational efficiencies and improved inventory management, I'm imagining that will have budgetary repercussions as well. So potentially it might save us money. So if we're looking at spending $44,000 on this, I'm just curious what we expect on the back end of that.
You know, you're going to, Councillor O'Brien, you're going to answer that? Councillor Director? I made you Councillor's name. Or?
No, that's okay. So through you, Madam Mayor. So
George.
absolutely. So the big thing here would be that to understand what's going out on each truckload, and then it would allow us to understand our application rates. So we target an application rate right now. We base it on a full truckload, not knowing to Councilor Wheeler's point of how much is actually on that truck. This gives us the ability to fine tune that when we come back to the yard earlier than expected or later, we can adjust the dosage rate. So most definitely there would be a financial benefit.
No specific estimates on what that might be for this year?
Through you, Madam Mayor, no, I wouldn't have anything detailed right now, but it's definitely something we will track, right, and we can bring that back.
And we'll know next year,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
Good. Would somebody mind explaining, because some people here don't understand, or some of our public doesn't understand what CORE means, C-O-O-R. Councillor George, Director George? You?
Through you, Madam Mayor, our core funding is basically capital out of revenue, so it's purchases of capital items. A capital item would be something that has a useful life over 1 year, and it wouldn't be an operational expense.
So it's technically money we already have, to a
Correct.
certain extent.
It's allocated in the budget.
Yes, okay.
So for this situation here, we have core money allocated for 2025 that's not spent. and we're just gonna reallocate it to purchase the scales
Okay.
right now.
Perfect. Thank you. Anybody else? I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Contraminded? Motion carried. Okay. Maintenance and cleaning services for city buildings 2025 to 19 two-year contract. Councillor Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Bit of background information. The City of Corner Brook requests bids for the maintenance and cleaning of city buildings, Public Works Depot, Fire Department, and Water Treatment Plant. Tenders closed on November 12th, 2025, with 2 bids received from the following. K&D Commercial Maintenance Limited, $61,870, HST included per annum. Blair Holdings Limited, $63,825, HST included per annum. Be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council award contract number 2025-19 Maintenance and Cleaning Services City Buildings to K&D Commercial Maintenance Limited in the amount of $61,870, HST included per annum. I so move.
Seconder on that one.
Second.
Councillor Dean. Discussion? Questions? This happens every couple of years. We bring this forward. It's a cleaning service that we need. So, Councillor Pritchard?
Just a quick question, Madam Mayor, on I guess page 14 of what I'm looking at the quote. I'm noticing that at the Public Works Depot, 15 hours per week, Central Fire Station, 10 hours per week, but the water treatment plant, only 2 hours combined per week. Is that accurate? Only 2 hours per week?
Through you, Madam Mayor, so just due to the volume of personnel that pass through each facility, a lot more cleaning required up there versus the water treatment plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Everybody good? Call for the question. All those in favor? Contraminded? Motion carried. Thank you very much. And now we're going to talk about Deep Gulch Brook Culvert Replacement Change Order number 16. Councillor Pritchard.
The Deep Gulch Brook Culvert Replacement Project required the existing deteriorated culvert to be left in place due to its depth. A flowable concrete mix was specified to be used to fill this pipe to eliminate the potential for future sinkholes along its path. Due to the amount of deterioration encountered with the pipe, a different concrete mix was required along some areas of the culvert to seal it from groundwater intrusion. Also, additional flowable concrete was required due to the lack of access points to plug the existing pipe. Proposed resolution, be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council approved change order number 16 for the Deep Gulch Brook Culvert Replacement for JCL Investments, Inc. in the amount of $49,588, HST included. I so move.
Seconder.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Keeping. Discussion on this one. Deep Gulch. Been on our radar for a long time. I guess my question is it soon coming to an end? Councillor Dean.
Madam Mayor, no negative environmental impacts from this filling of the pipe?
Through you, Madam Mayor, so essentially the way this would work is prior to the filling, the flow would be diverted. So that would be isolated. So the main rationale here is to fill it going under the road, so there's not a cavern under the road that could eventually collapse. But no, it would be contained on both sides, and once it's dried, obviously then it becomes stable.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions, discussion? It's looking good at Deep Gulch, I will say, and we're getting a lot of compliments from people who say, thank goodness the pavement is there and the lines are on and everything is happening the way that it should, because we have been through a long period dealing with Deep Gulch, so this should be almost close to the end. Okay.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make one comment. I really have to compliment, I guess, the staff and for, I guess, the updates, because the whole process, I think the residents was kept in the loop. So I have to compliment the staff and the coordinating crew for keeping that going.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Pritchard, you have your hand up? Okay. Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? Councilor Minded? Motion carries. Now, purchase of accessible transit van. This one warms my heart, I will tell you. It's a good news story. Deputy Mayor Keeping, would you mind bringing this one forward for us? And it's quite appropriate that you do it, since you did sit on the accessibility, and it's going to be chaired next time.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and it is very good news. On May 26, 2025, Council approved the purchase of an accessible transit van to enhance the city's transit services and ensure inclusivity for all residents. This approval included an interim measure, the rental of a temporary accessible transit van until the newly purchased vehicle could be manufactured and delivered. The new accessible transit van was successfully delivered on November 12, 2025, fulfilling the original procurement plan. During the rental period, the temporary van was proven to be a valuable asset in maintaining service continuity. The supplier is now offering the city an opportunity to purchase the existing rental van at a significant discount. In addition to the discounted price, all rental payments made to date will be applied towards the purchase cost. The original price of the van was $197,766.96. With rental credits and savings applied, the city can acquire the vehicle for $144,148.18, HST included. Funding is available to complete this purchase with virtually no direct cost to the city. Furthermore, acquiring this accessible transit van aligns with the city's transit vision, which emphasizes accessibility, reliability, and improved service for all residents. Be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council authorizes staff to purchase the 2023 Ram ProMaster 3500 accessible transit van from Move Mobility for the price of $144,148.18, HST included. I so move.
Seconder for that one. Mr. Kendi? Discussion, questions, comments? We're open for it all. Councilor Luther?
Just so great to see the advancement of the transit system over the last couple of years. Like, you know, kind of went from the great big buses going around and empty now to, you know, people to pick up the phone and book the bus to come. And now this accessibility van. I mean, it's so great to see the transit system move forward. Thank you.
Councilor Pritchard?
I do think this is an absolutely, great news story for the city, and commend staff for the work that they've done in acquiring the van. I'm just curious about the communication piece, because it's great to have the asset as a city, but if people don't know that they have it, it's more of a comment, I think, for us as a council. Now that we have that, we really need to communicate and get that word out there that there is accessible transportation available, and how that fits into the city's larger transportation plan.
Director O'Brien?
Yeah, through you, Madam Mayor, you're absolutely right. I know we've had conversations about of getting the communication out, and so with the new application we are launching, we do have a full marketing campaign along with that. So we will be sharing that with residents and certainly council, and happy to field any opportunities that we can look into for getting more communication out on it, definitely.
Thank you.
Anybody else? This is certainly a step forward compared to where we were 8 years ago when we started the Accessibility Committee. We didn't have any bus or any kind of transit system that could actually accommodate a wheelchair or somebody who needed accessibility. So we have gone from one bus last May, was it, Director? Probably May. And now we got another one coming. And, there's, to open this up to the city of Corner Brook certainly makes me proud, because I've heard stories in our accessibility committee meetings where some of the residents were saying, we can't get out, we can't do things, we can't go to the bank, we got to get a cab, and the cab is like $20 or whatever. So So this is something that I'm very proud of, and I'm proud of everybody sitting around here and all the help that everybody has given us to move this initiative forward. Thank you. Call for the question. All those in favor? Contrary-minded? Motion carried. Thank you. So when do we go for our next drive? Director, you took us for the first one.
You, Madam Mayor, anytime.
Let us know. Is it in? Is it?
It is, yeah. We are getting some nice graphics put on, so that should be done hopefully within a week or so, and then it'll be a billboard for the service as well. We have very nice graphics done and all that, so I think that will help as well. Really advertises the system nice, QR codes on it, so hopefully that'll help get some messages out as well.
Okay, maybe we can take a ride in it during the budget meetings.
Sure.
Might be just ride around town. Thank you very much. Okay. Moving right along, another one, garbage can delivery. Councillor Dean, you're on.
Madam Mayor, the City of Corner Brook will begin delivering new garbage bins to residents this week as part of the transition to the automated garbage collection system. While the official launch of the new program and collection methods will not take place until January 12th, 2026, residents may begin using their bins as soon as they receive them. Until the official start date, current collection practices will remain in place. The city encourages residents to monitor its social media channels and other communication platforms for updates, educational materials, and instructions on the new collection system.
Thank you, that's just a FYI. I think we can change the will begin delivering to some have been delivered today, wasn't it, Director O'Brien?
Through you, Madam Mayor, yes, correct. We started day 2 today, so A, B, and C roads have started today.
And we can use those at any time?
Through you, Madam Mayor, yes, they can start using them right away. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Get used to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anybody else, any comments or questions? No? This is also a step in the right direction. I will say this is going to be good for Corner Brook. Thank you very much. Rescind stop work order, Councillor Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A stop order was issued to the property owner of 308 Colonel Street for constructing an extension to the dwelling without the required building permits. This stop work order required the property owner to restore the site to its original condition or obtain the necessary building permit. City staff issued a building permit once all required building plans and information was presented to the City of Corner Brook. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook rescind stop order 2025-02 in accordance with section 102.3 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act. So it be moved.
Seconder for that one? Councillor Dean? Questions, comments? Discussion? No? Everybody's okay? Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Contrary-minded? Motion carried. Thank you. Expression of interest, Assessment Review Commissioner, Councillor Luther.
Pursuant to Section 31(1) of the Assessment Act, the City of Corner Brook is required to appoint a person to the position of Assessment Review Commissioner for 2026. The city has solicited expressions of interest in the position of Assessment Review Commissioner, and one submission was received. Mr. Brook Waterman has held a number of positions in his career, in which he was responsible for property acquisition and disposition. He has served on several panels and hearings in relation to statutes and regulations. He has served as the city's commissioner for the past 12 years. It is resolved to appoint Mr. Dennis Waterman as the Assessment Review Commissioner for 2026. I so move.
Seconder on that one. Councillor Kennedy. Questions, comments, discussion?
Yes, he's been doing it for quite some time, so he still has his name put forward, so I guess he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Good to see it.
Thank you. Call for the question. All those in favor? Contrary-minded? Motion's also carried. Okay. M&L Convention 2025, voting delegates, Councillor Wheeler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Municipalities NL Annual Conference is being held in Corner Brook on November the 20th through to the 22nd, 2025. Each municipality is asked to submit the names of 2 voting delegates. Mayor Linda Chazon and Deputy Mayor Pam Keeping will attend the conference, and their names are being brought forward for appointment as voting delegates for the City of Corner Brook at the conference. Be it resolved to approve Mayor Linda Chazon and Deputy Mayor Pam Keeping as the 2 voting delegates at the M&L Conference 2025. I so move.
Seconder? Councillor Luther. Discussion?
Just to comment, really looking forward to having the M&L convention coming up. So early into our term and coming back and being new to council again. Very glad to see it in the city of Corner Brook. You're going to see a lot of people come to town for this convention, and very proud to be a part of that. And it's certainly a learning opportunity for us all. So I'm looking forward to next week, Madam Mayor.
This week.
This week. Madam Mayor.
Oh my goodness.
I understand the first one was here 75 years ago.
Yeah.
And so now this is the 75th anniversary, so there's been maybe in between, but we're back here now to celebrate the 75th anniversary.
Yeah. It's so ironic because we were supposed to have it last year here, but due to the renovation of some hotels here, we couldn't accommodate all the delegates, so we had it in Gander. So Gander did it 2 years in a row, and now this year they brought it back here. So it's quite fitting that we bring it back here this year, since it is the 75th. Yeah. Councillor Kennedy?
Madam Mayor, it's my understanding, I think a lot of hotels are completely booked out, you know, for this conference, and spin-offs from this, like the restaurants and the shopping. It's good to see.
Yep. It is. We've got places booked as far away as Humber Valley Resort, Steam Villa, everywhere. And they've estimated now, talking to the organizers, that it'll bring about $3 million into Corner Brook over the next 4 or 5 days. So you'll see lots of people around, and it's going to be good. People going up and down one-way streets, and be patient, be patient. You never know. Anyway, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good time, and there's a lot of things housed out of City Hall. So we get a chance to show off our City Hall, and I don't know, be proud of Corner Brook, and we all are, for certain sure. Okay, any more discussion? Oh, call for the question. All those in favor? Motion carries. Okay. Councillor or Deputy Mayor Keeping, you're going to give us the council meeting schedule from January 2026 to December 2026. There's our year. You're on.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Section 31 of the City of the Corner Brook Act requires that council meet at least once a month for the dispatch of general business. Council meetings are in the form of a regular meeting and a committee of the whole meeting, both of which are public meetings. A confirmed schedule will allow for improved communication to staff, council, the public, and media. The following is a proposed council meeting schedule for the period of January 2026 to December 2026. However, the schedule is subject to change. Public council meetings are 7 p.m. except meetings occurring in July and August, which will be held at 5 p.m. And the public budget consultation tentatively scheduled for September 14, 2026. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments on this one? Thank you to the city clerk, and I guess city manager probably helped out there somewhere to put all our meetings down for the year. I don't know about anybody else, but I like knowing when we're going to have a public meeting, so. Anyway, thank you very much, and that is the end of our meeting. However, I'm going to give you all a chance to have a little say at the end. We'll go around. Deputy Mayor, I'll start with you tonight.
Okay, I'll do a little recreation update. It's been a busy couple of weekends for the Corner Brook Royals. The home opener was sold out on November the 8th. November 9th, Royals played in Grand Falls and won 3-2. November 15th, they played in Deer Lake with the last 9-6, but yesterday they won again against Grand Falls 6-4, and they did a beautiful tribute yesterday to Willie. So best of luck to the Royals for the rest of the season. Also, the past weekend, the Corner Brook Minor Hockey Association hosted the 4th annual Under-18 Cliff Green Memorial House League Tournament, and St. Anthony won gold. And just a little reminder that Nora's Fitness has moved to the curling club, I think, this week because of the sit-up for Eminem. Thank you.
Councillor Luther?
She's really prepared. You're used to this. I just want to touch on the budget consultation that we had last Monday night. The number of the people that showed up and the information that we got from them was really enlightening. And it's just so nice, and as we've said several times, that this was the first of many consultations that we'll be having with the various groups in the city. We've already met with some, and it's we've hit the ground running. So, and it's been very educational, and I look forward to the next 4 years, I guess. And thank you, staff. You've been very helpful in making this as easy as possible to join this wonderful group and to look after the beautiful city.
Thank you. Councillor Luther? Councillor Wheeler?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's been a busy month and a half for sure for all of us. I've thoroughly enjoyed my first couple of weeks being on council. Appreciate all the help and all the welcome from staff and our manager, you know, everybody who puts things together to help us out. I did get the opportunity, as I mentioned earlier, to visit the water treatment facility last week. And it's unbelievable what goes on up there, what goes into making our water as clean and clear and healthy as it can be. Certainly gives me a much greater understanding about water usage and the need to conserve water. It would be great if every single individual in the community, in the city of Corner Brook and the outlying communities that we provide the water to would be able to, I'm sure we wouldn't want every one of them to go through the water treatment facility, but what a great idea to be able to see what goes on and what goes into it and what, you know, the science of it and what we're putting into it. We have saved so much money over recent years because of water conservation efforts. So the amount of money that we're spending on water treatment, even though it goes up over the years, as everything does, as we talked about earlier, the phosphates, reducing our water usage makes a significant difference in our savings and the less treatment that we need to put the water through. So between, you know, preventing leaks in our city, digging up the old pipes, different things, software systems we have now for detecting leaks, things like that, to folks not running their water and conserving water. It just makes a significant difference. And it's not only for our money, but also, I mean, we think about our environment and water usage. We think about things we've come up with, low water. We're hearing water issues across the globe in different areas because of the dryness that we've had. So anyway, certainly brought to light for me the importance and definitely the importance of water conservation. So just want to pass that message along to all the residents that are so lucky to use our wonderful drinking water that comes from that plant. It's unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Councillor Dean?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I did request a notice of motion
Oh, no.
at this meeting, if I might go ahead now.
Okay, yep.
Thank you. This is notice that at the next meeting of council, I'll be bringing the following motion for council's consideration. I move we approve a pedestrian crossing light on West Valley at the Upper Ellswick-West Valley intersection crosswalk, similar to the light at the Lower Ellswick-West Valley intersection. So that's for the next council meeting. And in the meantime, for last comments, I can say that I'm very, very happy to be at this table. And it's been quite an interesting beginning. Orientations, proclamations, team building, trying to find our way around. It's been awesome. And settling into our committees is also good. I've had a great meeting with, as Protective Services, great meeting with the SPCA, and also got an opportunity to go to the fire department and meet the people who gratefully keep us safe, especially now that we're in the midst of such climate change, fires and storms. It warms my heart to know that we have a professional service here in Corner Brook. It's been great. I'm glad that Councillor Wheeler mentioned water conservation, because that is something that's brought close to our attention right now with the closure of the mill operations due to low water levels. So I'm going to encourage all of my followers to please be careful with your use of water, because so many people in Corner Brook and surrounding areas depend on water levels in order to support the mill. And their jobs, this close to Christmas and going into 2026, should be important for us all. And we can all contribute in a good way by monitoring our water use at home. Every drop counts. May I also say kudos to everyone at the City of Corner Brook who contributed to the opening of the Marina Redmond Center this year. It's been such a joy to have a center of that caliber here in our city. And I'm grateful to say that I use it often, and it's a beautiful contribution to our home. Thank you. That's it for me.
Yeah, Councillor Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I guess to elaborate on a couple things, we spoke about the water levels, and I don't think I've ever been as happy in my life to see rain as now. To understanding it, it's amazing, right? It's great to see this rain, so hopefully our water levels will come back up. The next thing, I guess, I have to, thank all councillors and directors for the orientation. It was a great learning experience, so thank you. I'll also like to thank the public because, we had a town hall meeting for our budget consultation, and I'm not quite sure the number that showed up, but it was great to see, a room of, people there, so thank you very much for coming out. I also like to mention that we have a new business, I guess, opening soon, Wendy's. That's getting close, and I don't know if someone could elaborate on the approximate opening or not. Madam Mayor?
Through you, Madam Mayor, so they are in the final stages now, so we're hoping in the near future, just a few other regulatory things to go through, but yeah, quite close.
Yeah. And I think they will be having a job fair soon, so, public can keep an eye out for that. Will be jobs opportunities. So, again, thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Pritchard.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Had a few points there. A lot of people have already hit on them. I do want to say a big thank you to city staff, our city clerk, our manager, directors. The orientation process certainly was very helpful. I know it's ongoing. I'll still have a lot of questions. I'll be reaching out and bugging people through email and through phone calls or whatnot, but I've learned a lot, and I've been really impressed by the knowledge and the passion as well for the city. It's great to see, and it really comes through. There's a lot of pride in your work and in the city, and I know we're in good hands. I look forward to working with you all on moving forward. Also as well, just go back to the budget consultations. I found that was a highlight for me for the last month, really, to see that many people come out, hear their ideas. I'm really looking forward to engaging in more of those practices going forward over different issues in the city. I know we've all talked about transparency and open houses and having people in and hearing their ideas. And I'll say in the last month, I've changed the way I've thought about things like garbage collection and wastewater and rainfall, things I never thought I'd be interested in, all of a sudden now are eating up a lot of my headspace. So,
What about potholes, Councillor?
potholes, and we're not even in snow clearing yet, so once that hits. But it's been a great month, so thanks very much for all your help, everybody, and everybody around this table as well.
Thank you very much. I'll end off now. You've all spoke about everything that we've done in the last month and sent out your thank yous. I'd also like to say that within the last month, we also met with MP Carol Anstey, who came to visit us at City Hall. And we also had the mill manager, Mr. Pelly, in to talk to us about the water levels and the reasons why the mill is closed and things like that. It's been a busy month. It has been busy for people who are new and learning it, but it was also busy for all of us who have been on it. And I look at the 5 directors sitting in front of me and the 4 directors, city manager and the city clerk up here, and I say, you know, a 2-hour meeting turned into a 4-hour meeting, which turned into a 5-hour meeting sometimes. We just had so many questions, and thank you very much for all your help. One question I have for Director Robinson. Walking track going to be open when M&L is on?
I'm sorry, say again.
Is the walking track going to be open when the M&L is on?
I will look into that. I'll double check and find out.
Okay, I meant to send you that question today and completely forgot about it because of all the things with Willie. And I'd like to take a moment at this time. I've worked with Willie for 16 years at the Civic Center, and I've got to say that he was probably one of the easiest people that I have ever worked with. He was instrumental when we brought the 2016 National Special Olympic Winter Games to Corner Brook. He worked so hard. I don't even think he slept, but he was running on excitement and adrenaline. And he told me afterwards, he said, you know, he said, you see all the Special Olympians coming and they just celebrate everything. It doesn't matter if they get a medal, if they run 2 feet, they celebrate it at the end. And he said he was at the gate, he said, welcoming everybody in for the last night, because we were all going in for closing ceremonies and the dance after the closing ceremony. Said one young guy went up to him and Willie said, I said to him, have a good time. He said, I've waited all my life for the night. It's going to be a dance. And Willie said he would never forget the look on this young fellow's face. He was actually going to the dance. So it's the small things in life that we have to celebrate. And rest in peace, Willie. You will be missed, and we will certainly miss you as a council. And for those who never got to work with Willie sitting around here, you know, you missed a great person to work with. And I think most people have had. I probably echo everything that's being thought about down there with the directors. So to Willie's family, we send out our condolences, and we can't tell them how much we're going to miss Willie. Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned.